Hey guys, Nate with Lights on Barnall. This is our 2025 Christmas display. I'm gonna do a quick walkthrough of how everything's hooked up and what I have this year, so everybody can check it out. So we added a lot of stuff this year. Added a bunch of EFL mini trees in the front here, kind of a bowling pin pattern. Gonna be expanding this or doing something in this empty space here. Added some more of the Home Depot bulbs. Have my fans. We did add these little EFL spiral trees in between. It's really helped keep people from walking between my display. Trying to keep them off the yard. So we got the push for music there. Had that for a couple years now. I just ran Gorilla Tape across the sidewalk. It held up pretty good other than when the snowblower hit it. We had a little issue. I'm hoping to run conduits under the sidewalk for next year over to the trees. So all my front trees have remote controllers on them. They have the Wally's waterfalls in them, which are really neat at night. It has a neat effect to it. And then I've got the floodlights lighting up the tree. Gonna add some more elements, something up and down the tree. I'm thinking some seeds, maybe in some PEX tube. So we got that, and then I just have the wire running across the yard right now. We did add a Tune 2 sign this year in the front. Gonna be changing that up a little bit. That was nice addition. We do have signs for people to scan when they're in their car that say our radio station. I always find it's kind of hard at some of these shows to find the radio station, so we try to get that out there. We also did add a QR code for Pulse Mesh this year. We added Pulse Mesh, which a lot of people liked, so that's on our website. If they scan the QR code, they see the Pulse Mesh link. So I got some elements up the sidewalk here. It's supposed to be 2 RBLs, but we had about 17 inches of snow first week of December, so it kind of hindered my setup a little bit. That's the EFL NSR cane. It's the fire or the fountain plus the base now. I added those bases this year, the rings, those look really neat. The Spiral X trees, those are really cool. Another one of my canes that I painted. So that was pretty much the same as last year. We have one controller in the front there. Got a long range controller in the back here. You can tell it's the end of the season because all my wires are pulled out and moved around. We added some elements across this sidewalk here and across my driveway. So you can see the rest of the side of this driveway didn't get finished. There should be matching right here and 2 RBLs. We did get these guys up. These are my original trees from Holiday Coro and my original canes from Holiday Coro, still going strong. This is new. This is a present from EFL. I kind of like that. We're going to be adding more of those for sure. This is pretty cool. This is a seed tree. Kind of made it last minute. I really wanted to do something more dense than what I had here. So this is 40 by 60. It's 2-inch spaced. We did do the metal steel cable to support the pixels, and you can see I have them zip tied there. It's a PEX base, so I actually only did half. So if you can kind of see beyond the mess here, like I said, it snowed and I had to dig out to even put this thing in. So I kind of have a half round PEX. I have my controller here. This is the Matos 1500 box with the Genius 16-port controller in it. Fits absolutely perfect in there. It's a great setup. Actually 3D printed that star. So this is just a 3/4 inch conduit. Again, this is 40 by 60, 2-inch spacing. Looks really nice. That's all SFL parts. So his clips, bungees off of Amazon, and then his topper. Also his base. So I kind of just used some rebar to hold that in place. We have our mother of all wreaths up there, and then the Fusion. This is new this year. I had them done last year. I just didn't get them mounted. I did switch my mounting up a little bit this year. So these are just the SFL conduit clips. I used to use the actual conduit clips with the screw, and I have no idea why I haven't been using these. These are awesome. Literally just clicks in. So what I do is I drill an anchor in to my brick, and then I just remove that with the screw. You can kind of see them on the matrix up there. So it just leaves a little anchor in, not much to it, perfect. You can see my permanent lighting and my icicles up top. I do have a projector with a screen. I had all intentions, tested it out, had it ready to go to mount it right here. But again, that snow hit, so, you know, ended up just staying right there. I do have a projection screen on my garage. So I actually ordered this material that goes over the garage, which really makes the projection pop. Great addition, getting that real nice virtual matrix going. I do have the 2-inch seed pixel mesh on top. That's from Your Pixel Store. That's a great fill-in for that area. I have a matching mother of all wreath and fusion there, so that's kind of around my garage. Gonna kind of add some more elements there. I have 4 of these trees now. These are from Pixel Paradise. They're really cool. He includes everything you need in the kit. So it's got the topper, the base. He does include the metal base if you buy the whole kit. And then he has a 3D printed star. And then these are just some pixel pulls from EFL Designs. Got my 1-inch spaced matrix back there. It's from Biesco. So that's still going strong. I'm going to be changing this whole section up a little bit next year, so more to come. 3D printed that holly. That was kind of neat. Needed some stuff to fill in, so somebody had suggested that, and I really like how that turned out. And then I've got 2 of the singing stars. Right above that is some bat flakes from Gilbert Engineering, GE. So that's a flake and a bat, which is real cool. So I have those for Halloween and Christmas. And then a couple Grand Illusions. I do have pixel matrices on all my upper windows. So those are 2-inch spaced pixel matrices, 4x8. They look really great. You can see I've got some more pixel pulls there on the shutters. And then a couple more of those bat flakes up there. One of my favorite props up top there is my Showstopper flake. Definitely going to be adding more of those next year. Didn't get around to it this year. You can see my moving heads up on the roof there. I've posted a bunch of pictures and videos on how those are mounted. I use solar panel mounts, so if you look over there, you'll see where there's some solar panel mounts on the roof. That's actually where my 3rd Helicute is supposed to go, but again, it didn't make it up because of the snow. So it's sitting in my garage. There's the other 2. But that's pretty much what those mounts are. It's 3 of those solar panel mounts and just a nut and a wing nut, or a bolt and a wing nut, and those are mounted. Coming over to the porch. So I had some half spider webs, and then somebody in one of the 3D printing groups had made these half quarter spinners. So those actually worked really cool on the corners here. We've got 4 of them. So those are my corners. This is a 3D printed shotgun matrix from VFL, Visionary Light Show, or VLF, sorry, Visionary Light Show, Mark. So most of my seeds and a lot of my pixels now are from Mark. He's probably supplied me 30,000+ pixels. One of my controllers, you can tell it's the end of the season because it's a mess. It looked really good at one point, but you know, as you fix stuff and change stuff, that's what it starts to look like. I do have an outdoor switch out here, so that takes care of some of my controllers. I have another 32 port Genius controller over there. Then I've got my larger window matrix up here. So as you can see, that's just mounted with conduit top and bottom and then stretched across. Again, I use the same SFL clips, and then it just clips in, and then honestly I just roll it up when I'm done. I do have some floodlights up here for color wash on the house. Got some of my RBLs that I built the first year of my show. This is now my 4th year of show, so those are holding up strong. Showstopper trees, these are awesome. All kinds of stuff these can do. Any of the Showstopper sequences really utilize all the states and all the cool stuff that they've built into these trees. So I really like these guys being front and center. I plan to add more. I do have some singing frogs. I got 2 of those. They only sing on a few songs just to kind of keep it interesting. The kids like when the frogs randomly show up. A lot of the Disney songs have the frogs in them, so it makes it kind of fun. My mega tree is 200 by 32 by 200. Those are Matos Evos in there. Nice and light, but they've held up pretty good. I've got a topper on top there. It's the Matos Sasquatch pole. I just added another 5 feet to that, so I'm going to be adding another 50 pixels. So these will be 250 by 32, and I'll probably add another, I don't know, 16 strands to this one or more, just to kind of make it a little more dense. Finally got my minions in the show. Painted these guys last year, didn't have time to push the pixels, but I finally got them in the show. So excited to finally have them up. Added Santa. This is from EFL. This prop came printed. He printed this with the color. Absolutely beautiful. Turned out awesome. I got the snowman. This is the original 8-foot that he sold. I think it's a 6-foot now. I painted this with spray paint and it took forever. It turns out great, looks great, but man, when this guy showed up, it was night and day. This one's pushed with the flatbacks from Mark at Visionary Light Show. So I'll take you in the back here, show you how this stuff's mounted. So all my stuff, I've switched to conduit now. So everything is conduit and rebar. So literally when I'm done, they lift up, pull the rebar out, and that's it. So the minions have the SFL clips. I actually used lock washers on everything so they don't back out. I'll end up painting these in the off season to match, but that's pretty much my mounting strategy. I put a washer on the front and back just so it doesn't crush the Coro, and then I have the conduit clip, so it works real well. Frosty's a little more solid. He's got the different SFL mounts. I've got some maker mounts on these. Got supports, so those are all rebar. So this is 4 pieces of rebar. Another controller here. Again, that's that Matos box with the Genius controller inside. Perfect. I got these 4-port glands from Pixel Paradise. So real nice. I only need to drill a couple holes in that. Again, that's one of my other minions. So you can see the mount. Snowman was the same as Santa here. So Santa, I kind of did 2 conduits going up. I printed on a SFL clip to kind of come out and support the arm. I did use conduit clips on this just to make it a little more solid. Again, use the maker mounts to give it some stability. All rebar, so 2 pieces of rebar straight up and then 2 to hold him from falling down. Again, minion, single piece of rebar, super easy. Got my mounts for my mega tree. I did get the ground levelers from Matos, those are real nice. And then use the anchors that just screw in. So that worked out real well to hold that down. Got the mount from, that's from Your Pixel Store. That's a small box. That has my Genius controller for the tree and the star. So that was a real nice setup there. Coming around the house, I've got icicles going all the way up in the side. Got my showstopper spinner up there, Santa and the reindeer. I did mount these a little different this year, so I did put eye bolts on the house. I had 3. I did this last year, but instead of just going up, I actually have down 2. So this is on a pulley, pulls it up, this pulls it down. So what that does is it keeps them from hitting the house. So during this site gets really windy, so during the wind these things would be banging on the house. So pulling down and up actually helps with that, so it doesn't bang against the house in the wind. Lots of room to add here. There's going to be a lot added to the show this next year. I want to add a lot of flakes, add a lot more elements to the side of the house, kind of now that we're wrapping around. So this will be expanded upon. I do have some flakes on my fence line, so those kind of add a good element. They are behind the props, but you do still see them. So on the side of our house, we did our NSR arches. So these used to be in the front of my show a couple of years ago, and I've now moved them to the side. Real good fill-in. And then I did mount these this year again with conduit. So it's 3 pieces of conduit. I've got the SFL clips on there. I've got 1 up and then 2 on the sides, so that supports it real good. And then that allowed me with one that was straight up to do the mounts. So this one I haven't put the clips on yet. That was just zip tied to see how it looked. But you can see on my spinners, these are EFL spinners. There's just 2 SFL clips. Clip right on, good to go. So again, the cables run right along the back here. I did print some pixel pulls for these in between with stars on top, but didn't have a chance to push those yet. I got sidetracked with some other projects, but I have pixel pulls for between these to kind of keep people from walking in the middle of my display. Added penguins along the street. Everybody loves the singing penguins, so each of these trees has some of the Wally's waterfalls. It has floodlights for color wash, and then the penguin. So each of the trees has a long-range receiver. Again, I just went across the sidewalk with some tape. You can kind of see it's coming up where the snowblower hit it and the shovels hit it. So this again will be buried next year. I plan to have an outlet and a data connection in each tree, so I don't have to do the cables across the sidewalk. So this is kind of a cool element, all the penguins singing down the street here. And then the biggest thing that I added this year was by far the train. Absolutely love my train. This is from EFL. I have the train, 2 flat cars, and the caboose. I'd ordered these P5 panels from Your Pixel Store. I had gotten 1 originally to do a Tune 2 sign. Quickly shifted as soon as I saw somebody use these for the windows of the train. Matt Mello on the EFL group had actually posted a build that he did with a Culp controller. So this is actually everything in one. It has a Culp controller. It's a K8 scroller with a beagle bone. So I actually have 8 connectors here to power the train pixels. And then the K8 also does the P5 panel. So it's actually all in one. I put mounts in the front so I can actually just remove these panels with 4 screws to make it a little easier to store. I did conduit supports on the back for the controller because those suckers are fairly heavy with the panel and the controller on them. And then again, same thing for the train. It's got conduit supports all around. So this train, this one right here is 4 pieces. I'll zoom out a little bit. 4 pieces of rebar is all that's holding this sucker in. 1 power cable and 1 data cable, and that's it. Everything is self-contained. I have 3 total controllers. So there's the P5 display there. I've got the Presence, the EFL Presence, another RBL there. A couple of the NSR medium trees from EFL, another RBL, and then 2 more of the screens. Camera doesn't like my camera there. It's rolling a little bit. It looks better in person. But 2 more of those screens. Those screens, again, K8 controllers, 8 ports apiece. This whole side of the house, the train, all the stuff on the train, the North Pole sign, and my original mega tree, my 16 by 30 or 40, I forget what this thing is, or 50 bullet tree, all powered off the train. Added some of these snowflakes, really cool print that we found. It's got 100 seed pixels in it, really neat prints. I screwed up one day and printed one green, so that's why we have a red and a green and a gold. But I have about 15-20 more of these flakes. These are actually all on a single line. They run just fine, no interference, can run solid white with no issue because they're seeds. Again, these seeds are from VLS from Mark, but I plan to have more of these up and down the fence as soon as we're done pushing them. My son's been an absolute rock star making these flakes. As quick as I can solder, he gets them pushed. So that's the basics of the show this year. We had a lot of fun elements. We're at about 70 to 80,000 lights this year. I don't have the final count because some stuff didn't make it out, so we're going to figure that out. But I was about 45 to 50 last year, so we definitely grew. Lots more plans, of course, moving forward. Want to add some more moving heads up to the roof there. Get about 4 to 8 of those total. But that's my show. I hope you enjoyed the walkthrough. I hope it's helpful. If you have any questions, just comment down below. I'm happy to help out anybody. Again, this is my 4th year doing this, and I appreciate everybody's help along the way. So, Merry Christmas. Good luck with your shows, and we are signing out here from Lights on Barnoff.